What if I told you guys that I was able to lose 30 pounds? Yes, 30 pounds in the span of 2 months. No crazy diet, no crazy workout routine. I just had to do one thing. In this video, I am going to be spilling the beans from start to finish. So make sure you tune in so you don't miss anything. I told you that I lost 30 pounds in just 2 months. I probably even sound crazier if I tell you that I did not have to follow a fad diet. I did not have to do any crazy workout routines. I just had to do one thing. In this video, I am gonna walk you through deciding whether or not this one thing is for you, how to obtain it, and how to get it nearly for free, or depending on your insurance, at a very low cost. I'm gonna share with you my own results of how I lost 30 pounds in just 2 months. I'm gonna share some side effects that are very common and some that I experienced myself. I'm going to share with you some insurance tips and how to find out if Zepbound or any GLP-1 is ideal for you. Now, before we get started, this is in no shape or form medical advice. I advise all of you guys to talk to your primary care doctor or a nurse practitioner. Get as educated as you can about GLP-1s before you make the decision on whether or not you should start this journey. If you are currently on a weight loss journey on a GLP-1, or you're looking to get started but don't really know everything about the medicine, I highly advise you to go ahead and click the subscribe button. I am going to have some bomb weight loss and GLP-1 content so that we can start this journey together and we can become the best us possible. Like many of you guys, I have struggled with my weight loss journey since I was in my early teens, probably around age 12. I have been obese a majority of my life, and in my later adult life, I finally decided that I need to do this for me. I need to lose this weight for me. I knew that I would not be fully happy until I was able to look in that mirror and actually love what I was seeing in that reflection. Now, before getting on Zepbound, I have tried just about everything that you can think of, from tracking my calories to being in a caloric deficit, every fad diet, keto, vegetarian, pescatarian, you name it. And 9 times out of 10, I probably tried it at some point in my life. Now, the very first weight loss medicine that I tried was something called Saxenda. It is also an injection. I did not stay on Saxenda very long for the simple fact that my primary care at the time, I did not mesh well with her. I felt like a lot of the concerns that I voiced to her as far as why I struggled with losing weight, she did not really show any compassion. We did not connect in more than one ways, and it just wasn't the right fit for me. So I ended up finding a new primary care doctor, which I am in love with her. She's understanding, she's compassionate, she hears me out, and I feel human with her. That is how I ended up getting on Zepbound. I shared with her my experiences with my other primary care doctor, other routes that I have taken in an attempt to lose weight, and she took all of those things into consideration. She came back with the recommendation of me getting on Zepbound. Now, within a week of getting on Zepbound, I felt my appetite being suppressed a lot. I felt my cravings for sweets completely disappear. And this is coming from someone who loves a good cookie or a good cake, okay? Even the first week, I believe I lost around 8 to 9 pounds. It seems unbelievable, but I'm literally sitting here telling you guys this because I have been through it. So I know a lot of you guys are probably asking, what exactly is Zepbound? Now, Zepbound is FDA approved, although it is a newer medicine. It contains trizepatide, the same ingredient that you find in Mounjaro, which is a medicine that aims to help with diabetes. Now, although these medicines are very similar, Mounjaro aims to help with diabetes, while the trizepatide or the Zepbound is aimed to help you with weight loss. Now, how does it work exactly? Zepbound mimics two hormones, a GLP-1 and a GIP. Now, these hormones, they're meant to help regulate your blood sugar, reduce your appetite, and also slow down your digestion, which means that you're able to eat less, but you stay full for a lot longer than you typically do. Recent clinical trials, it said that Zepbound is supposed to help you lose roughly 18% of your body weight in a span of 72 weeks. Now, keep in mind the 18% is just the average. So there are going to be people who experience a lot less than the 18%, and there's also going to be people that exceed the 18% of weight loss in that 72-week time frame. Now, the biggest question that I had before getting on Zepbound was, what is the difference between Zepbound, Ozempic, and Wegovy? They all sounded very similar, but I wanted to make sure that I understood the difference so I can make an educated decision on which medicine would be best for me. Now, Zepbound is a trizepatide. So it mimics those hormones that I talked to you about earlier, the GLP-1 and the GIP. So that contains a lot of weight loss suppression compared to the other two medicines. Now, Wegovy and Ozempic, those are what we call semaglutides. So they do work on your GLP-1, but not the GIP receptors. So what that means is it's still effective, but not. The biggest difference between the two is Zepbound is a trizepatide. So it works on those GLP-1 and those GIP receptors, while Wegovy and Ozempic, they only work on the GLP-1. So in a sense, the Zepbound is going to give you double the effect, which means you're more likely to lose more weight. Now we're going to go over the types of dosages when it comes to Zepbound. I have my dose right here, which I'm currently on 10 mgs. We're going to go over what that looks like, where I started, and what's the max dosage that you can get on this medicine. Now, Zepbound starts at a dosage of 2.5 mgs. Your doctor is going to start you off at a low dosage, and that way you can see how your body feels, if there's any crazy changes within that time frame, and they'll gradually up your dosage with my doctor. Now with the Zepbound dosages, you typically start off at 2.5 milligrams, but because I was on Wegovy prior to that, and I also took Saxenda, my doctor started me off at, I believe it was 7.0 or 7.5. But right now, I'm currently on 10 mgs. Your doctor is probably going to start you off at the lowest dosage, and that allows your body time to get used to the medicine, and it's also going to lower your likelihood of experiencing those side effects off the jump. Your doctor can prescribe you up to 15 mgs on this medicine. And one tip that I will definitely give you guys is do not increase your dosage without talking to your doctor. Now, your doctor is going to be the person writing the prescription in the first place, so it's really hard to get your hands on this medicine. But what I'm saying is, don't take 7.5 and then you have a friend who is on 15. Don't take their 15 mgs, guys. Your doctor is able to prescribe these things based on their knowledge, and honestly, they're not going to steer you wrong. If you feel like they are steering you wrong, find another primary care doctor. Let's go over some side effects. This is something that I wish there was more information on prior to me getting on this medicine. I did my research, but there was not much on side effects. A lot of the people that I found on TikTok and Instagram, they made it seem like it was a piece of cake or a walk in the park. Now, the most common 3 side effects that I myself went through was feeling nauseous, constipation, and fatigue. Those are not the only side effects, so please do your due diligence and read up on the medicine before you get on it. But those were just 3 that I personally experienced, which it wasn't bad. The weight loss was definitely worth it, but I wish I would have knew more about it. My doctor did cover these items when she first prescribed it, but I wish I would have heard more stories from people about their experience with these side effects. Now, my nausea didn't kick in until about week 2, but what I found helped me out a lot was anything that tasted like ginger chews, ginger tea. All of that really helped with my nausea, and now I don't really get nauseous when I take the medicine. Now, the next one is probably the worst that I experienced, which was constipation. Yes, constipation. The way that I dealt with my constipation personally was magnesium citrate, which my doctor suggested. She also told me that if the magnesium citrate did not work, she was willing to write me a prescription for a stronger laxative type of medicine, which I did not want. So I just purchased the magnesium citrate off of Amazon, and it's worked miracles. Another thing that's going to help you with your constipation, or if you're experiencing the opposite, which some people say they experience, which is diarrhea, drinking a lot of water is going to help you out tremendously. It's a game changer. I've always drank a lot of water, but on this medicine specifically, it has made a huge difference for me. On my first 2 or 3 shots, I also felt a little fatigue. I am not a person that usually gets my full 8 hours of sleep, but on this medicine, when I first started, I was in bed by maybe 9:30 at the absolute latest, and that's in REM sleep, 9:30. Now, another really important question that you're probably wondering is, how much does this stuff cost? It's gotta be expensive. Well, babes, I'm here to tell you that it's hella expensive. If you are not insured, this medicine can run you close to, or even more than, $1,000 per month. Now, a monthly dosage, this is a monthly dosage. You take 1 shot every week for 4 weeks. I don't know about you guys, but for me, that is definitely quite expensive. You have some people who their rent is not even $1,000. So how would they be able to afford $1,000 for a weight loss medicine? I know I have praised this medicine about how amazing it is, but Zepbound is not a magic injection. It's not a magic pill. In order for this to be as effective as possible, you will need to do things outside of giving yourself the shot. Me personally, I have started working out about 2 to 3 days a week. I do kickboxing, Pilates, and open gym. For anyone who is considering getting on this medicine, my advice to you is to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally, because there is a possibility that the first week may be pretty difficult for you. So, between the nausea and the fatigue, my advice would be do not give up. I promise you, it gets better. So, is Zepbound worth it? In my opinion, hell yeah. If you are someone who is struggling with weight loss and have for a very, very long time, if you have exhausted other resources and other medications and you have not been able to get the results that you would want, please talk to your primary care doctor about Zepbound, semaglutide, a GLP-1. Have those discussions with them and ask them any and every question that you might have about the medicine. The changes that you will see in your lifestyle and in your weight loss is worth that 5 to 10 minute conversation with your doctor. If you guys find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Your support and your engagement is what's going to help YouTube push my video up the algorithm, and that way more women and men who are struggling with their weight loss are able to find my videos on their pages.